Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music.
That's right, we both have one on.
Yeah, we do. We wore our SWAGGITY swag.
Good job.
Today. So excited. Your favorite mom and pop guitar shop and music lesson studio, deep in the heart of small town Canton, Texas. That's where we're at. Yeah, and it's time for another episode of Ask RNA 317 now.
There you go.
I think. Episode
Okay. We'll
317 episodes of Angela answering questions.
All the questions.
And me looking cute.
All the questions all the time.
Let's get to it. Yep, welcome back again to another episode of Ask RNA, where Angela and I were going to answer questions from people all over the world. The air conditioner just came on. Dang it.
Thought you fixed that.
I thought I did. I was just complaining about all the road noise outside because we're right next to a main highway, so you're going to hear giant Texas trucks drive by and rumble through our video. Freaking air conditioner, which is
all the things
necessary in Texas because it's quite warm.
Quite. And humid.
In August. And humid, like, I don't know, 97 degrees and
something like
93% humidity.
Yeah,
it's a sauna.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, we are going to answer some questions from people all over the world.
Yay.
We enjoyed, this is one of my favorite videos that we make. You know, we do guitar videos and demo stuff, but answering questions.
My earring keeps tickling my neck and I'm just like,
It's a bug. It's a spider. You got a spider.
Spider.
Spiders. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we have a little guitar shop, music lesson studio. We teach lessons every week, all day.
All day.
All day, every day. We also sell some stuff and things sometimes. So, anyways,
we do that.
Holy smokes! Let's get to the video. First question. All right, first question. Barb Mel from Leo. Question.
Okay.
You have obviously built a good life in Canton, Texas. How did you choose that town? I have lived 5 places where I was transferred for my vocation, and they were all interesting and challenging at the same time. I do not think I would have chosen any of them just on personal preference. Okay. Great question,
Okay.
Leo. Yeah, so we always say we're in Canton, Texas. You may not know where Canton, Texas is. It is a small town in East Texas. We're about an hour east of Dallas. So most people in the universe have heard of Dallas, Texas, and can maybe in their minds pinpoint where Dallas is. We're about an hour east of Dallas.
Yeah, and how close are we to Louisiana?
About an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half.
About an hour, about an hour, 45 minutes where we can get to Louisiana border.
Yeah, so we're, if you look at the biggest, roundest part of Texas where Louisiana hits, if you start at the Louisiana border and come in, like Canton's like right there.
We're kind of in between
Literally
Dallas.
the heart of Texas.
And Louisiana.
Yeah.
In between Dallas and Louisiana, right on Interstate 20 is a main interstate highway that goes through a bunch of states.
Yeah.
Why did we choose Canton, Mrs. RNA?
Because Ryan's from here.
I grew up here.
This is his hometown.
I'm a hometown feller.
Yeah. I pretty much I was born in Dallas.
You're a little more traveled as a child than I am.
Yes. Spent a little bit of time in Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up most of my life from like age 8 until freshman year in college in Athens, Texas, which is 30 minutes south of here. So, we're from here, basically.
We're from around these parts.
Our high schools played the same teams. We were in the same, Ryan's family came to my town to eat Mexican food and
Mazio's pizza.
And pizza. So we have this connection in this area. All of our family we're from here.
Most of our family
aren't still here, but most of our family are here. And now my family is more here than your family's here.
I know, it's crazy.
That's weird.
That's super weird.
Because my family is not from here, this town.
They're not from
this
Canton.
region, yes. But yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
It's his hometown.
Yeah, my hometown. I went
graduated here.
Kindergarten through 12th grade here. Lived here while I was going to the first couple of years of college, I would live and I commuted to the school where Angela and I met.
In my hometown.
In her hometown of Athens. Now, we have moved away and come back, moved away, come back, moved away, come back. So we have lived in Tyler, Texas. We've lived in Nacogdoches, Texas, which is where I went to school. Axon Jacks, Stephen
and our
Boston.
firstborn is...
our son was born in Nacogdoches.
Our eldest son.
Our eldest.
Yes.
We lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma for several years. And then we keep getting pulled back to Canton, usually mostly for family stuff.
Right, correct.
Generally, we kind of ended up back. We liked living in Tulsa. Tulsa was...
It was the best.
It was all right. Yeah. I mean, it's in Oklahoma, which is just okay.
Yeah, if we had different jobs there that were like if we did this there, we would totally be there.
We'd probably still be in... I don't want to say that. That hurts my Texas feelings. But if you're going to live in Oklahoma, live in Tulsa.
I'm telling you, it's a good town.
Yeah, we like it.
There's lots of really nice suburbs of Tulsa. It's kind of like Dallas. Or any major city, really. Has all the little outlet towns.
It's got everything you want, but it's not too crazy. So, but yeah, hometown thing. I'm a hometown guy. My family's been here for 100-something years. So yeah. So any of you guys or girls who still live in your hometowns you grew up in, know that there's plus sides and downsides to that.
Yeah.
But right now we are where we are. And that's where we are. Yeah! Thank you for the question, Leo. Great question, man. That's pretty awesome. Tell us down below where you guys and girls live. What city are you in? And was it your hometown or home city? Or did you move around and this is where you're at now? Let us know. I'd love to know that. Interesting. Next question. Just Fun Guitar.
Yes.
Captain Reliable. Always with a question. From England. Just Fun Guitar. Do you live in the same town in England that you grew up in? Or have you moseyed around England? Ooh, I like to know that. It seems like people in the States tend to travel quite a bit.
Yeah.
Leave states. Go to completely, I live 500 miles away from where I grew up, or 1,500 miles away.
Yeah.
All right, just fine. New question. What is the best digital product you have ever used / purchased? Best digital product I have
That wouldn't
used.
be me.
Well,
I don't have any digital projects other than just
you have some
phones.
crochet patterns. That's a digital product.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. A PDF file.
Yeah.
I wouldn't classify that.
That's a tricky question, actually, because I'm sitting here thinking work related, like stuff I've used to teach with, like digital product. Well, what's the software I use? There's a tablature software I use to teach with. Guitar Pro. Is it Guitar Pro? Yes, Guitar Pro.
Right.
Which if you want to find any music, any tablature for a song that you like, you can usually find Guitar Pro files. Now you actually have to have the Guitar Pro software on your computer to use the full functionality of it. Playback, you can play back the music at half speed and manipulate and change stuff. You can even tab out your own stuff, which I've used to create lesson programs, lesson files for our students. So Guitar Pro software has been one that I use daily. And of course we do edit video quite a bit, and so I guess you could say iMovie, but it kind of came with a physical product, like the MacBook Pro. One thing that changed my life was the MacBook Pro, I'll tell you that. I was telling the student yesterday, I have the 2012 MacBook Pro that I got in like 2014, and it's still trucking. Yeah. And I've edited literally hundreds of videos on, printed hundreds of lessons for our kids. Yeah. And just used the crap out of iMovie editing, and of course iMovie comes with it. And one of these days I'm going to upgrade and get the Final Cut Pro video editing, which will be super sweet, but it's actually kind of pricey. Right. But it would allow me to do more things video-wise, but those things. That's probably the best digital product I have ever purchased, is actual like software.
Right.
For teaching, I suppose. I'm trying to think of anything else I may have ever. I've bought like lesson videos from other people. They could classify that as digital products, but I've not ever bought a lesson program from anybody that I actually really learned anything from.
Right.
Because it's like, I already know all this. I already know all this.
I know.
It's just I need to apply what I know. But
Right.
I've gotten lessons from David Wallerman, who's a friend of mine. I love David. I'll buy some of his lesson stuff just to support him. I've bought Robert Baker's digital lesson programs and things because I love Robert. He's a great guy and I want to support him. I've looked at some of Tyler Larson's stuff. It's pretty good. You know, I've gotten some of Rick Beato's, his Beato book. I'm like, I already know that. I still have all my theory textbooks from college. So I'm like, I haven't ever bought anything like that I actually really learned anything from. But I have a different background context in that. It inspires me to practice a little bit more. But I'd say probably the Guitar Pro software is something I use every day, all the time. That's been really good. I suggest any guitar player, it's about $70 maybe. Anywhere between 60 and $100 depending on which one it is and sales and stuff. But it's definitely worth getting. You should get into it.
Yeah. You should do that.
What do you do your podcast on?
Anchor. But it's not.
You didn't have to buy it.
Yeah.
But you
I
use
mean,
it
I use it, yes. Anchor's okay. Sometimes it's kind of finicky. I wish there was a better outlet, but I have so much invested now in Anchor. I hate to switch and lose, like, all that audience.
Are people listening on Anchor, or are they listening through the other platforms like Spotify?
They're listening through the other platforms.
So surely you would still keep those other platforms, even if you stopped using Anchor. Would you lose access to those?
I probably, since Anchor's the one
who
pumping
distributed it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to back all those up.
Yeah.
We need to save all those to a hard drive, and then we can always re-upload them somewhere else if we ever have to.
Right.
That's a good redundancy plan.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you, Just Fun Guitar. You guys let us know below. What's a digital product you've purchased that has been amazing for you?
Yeah.
Love to know that. Next question. Brought to you by RNA Music, where if you would like to purchase some swaggity swag, like t-shirts or socks or cuppy cups or whatever, you can go to our Teespring store
Pants of pants.
down below.
I still haven't gotten.
Some stretchy pants. You can get some yoga pants that say RNA Music on them.
Yep.
For playing your 80s hairband gigs. Links down in the description to our Teespring store. Get you some swaggity swag if you enjoy what we do and you like also to have a sweet RNA Music t-shirt.
Yes.
Go get you one.
Do it.
Self-sponsored. I don't think this counts as a sponsored video because it's just us.
It's just us.
Next question. Topher Taylor. Hashtag Dune. On the subject of Hammett, Kirk is a noted collector of Gibsons, but the real question is, do you think the Gibson deal has to do with Mesa Boogie amps? Heard from a friend that Kirk's deal with Randall amps had come to an end. Take care, y'all. Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, Gibson has taken over Mesa Boogie. That was
right. Yes.
Came out last year, and everybody's like, "Oh man," because Gibson tends to ruin everything that they touch. And people love Mesa Boogie. I love Mesa Boogie. So everybody's like, "Ah, crap, what's going to happen with Mesa?" Yeah, I think the Randall thing with Kirk, he'd been with them for a while, but I don't know that he actually ever used them like live. And the Randall kind of just went away because U.S. Music, Randall and Washburn are kind of the same company in U.S. Music, and they've been bought out 3 or 4 times since we've been Washburn Randall dealers. So who knows what happened with that? I'm sure that just came to an end because you can't hardly get any Randalls anywhere. That, companies buy other companies, and sometimes some of the companies that get bought, nothing goes anywhere with them. Which is again the question and the worry about Gibson acquiring Mesa Boogie. What are they going to do with it? So it would be interesting. I'm sure it has to do with the guitars, though.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure it's primarily about Kirk and playing Gibson guitars because he has played Gibsons on stage, as has James. They have played their Gibson Les Pauls and Flying V's and Explorers on stage and in the studio So I think it has a lot more to do with the guitars. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of thing there. Although Boogie doesn't tend to do, I'm trying to think of anybody who actually has a signature Mesa Boogie amp, and I feel like the only person is John Petrucci. Like they came out with a John Petrucci Mark II Plus or Mark V Plus or whatever. Because that one particular amp has been so associated with him for so long. And, you know, amongst guitar nerds, John Petrucci's kind of up there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really, who's buying Mesa amps? It's dudes who are into gear, you know, for sure. So it would be interesting to see if they do that. Some kind of collaboration with Mesa and Kirk. It's possible.
Right.
Metallica has used Mesas for a long, long time, as well as other amps. But I feel like it's all about the guitars, really.
Right.
The great observation, Topher. We will have to wait and see. It's kind of scary. Kind of scary. And that brings us to one of my new favorite sections of the video. Comment of the day.
Comment of the day.
Comment of the day.
Comment of the day. I like this. I forgot to bring my acoustic from home, so I'm going to be using Angela's dainty little Washburn. What is it? The something or another. P1506. I don't know, whatever it is.
Something.
It's a little comfort contour. It's basically like a parlor size, like a 3/4 size. A little scoop cutaway. It's all right. Koa. That's great. I need to have it set up. I need to set it up, do some work to it.
Yeah.
It always sounds slightly out of tune.
Yeah, I know.
Even when it's in tune, it's like something's.
I know.
It's probably the scale length because it's such a short scale. So
it's like a ukulele.
Yeah. But we're gonna use this comment of the day. So for the last however many weeks now, 6 weeks, we've been just writing a song.
Yeah.
From comment of the day.
I mean, you know.
On the spot, impromptu, no forethought at all.
Nope.
And people really liked last week's, actually,
Okay,
by the way.
good.
I'll have you know. Everybody's like, more RNA blues, please. Oh
my
I was
gosh.
like, oh man, okay, they really like that.
Yeah.
We got to know your demographic, I
guess so.
People like the blues. I'm probably not going to play blues today, but apparently,
Even though the people ask, he's gonna Star Wars you.
we're gonna metal it up.
Oh
Actually,
my
that
gosh.
might be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think I could do
No?
that.
Okay.
No. If
We
you
should
do,
do.
you're
we should,
singing.
We should do some of our repertoire when we go to the farmers market, Canton, Texas gigs.
Yeah.
We've played some old Elvis,
Yeah.
which is basically 12-bar blues stuff.
Yeah.
We should do some of those. I wonder if we get copyright strikes if we do. Probably Elvis songs. We'll have to do. We may have to make up our own. Because you can't copyright 12-bar blues progressions.
No.
Just lyrics.
Right.
So we'll have to make up our own.
Sure.
But today, we're gonna do comment of the day. We're gonna go.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do with that. It's gonna sound like every other song we do.
It's okay. That's the point. It's gonna be.
Oh my gosh. No pressure.
No pressure. Let me play the chord progression a few times.
Okay. You're gonna edit all this out, right?
No.
Okay, it's gonna make it way too long.
I can't.
He's like, concise. I'm gonna keep all of this in.
Let's keep this concise, except for all this. Let's
Yes.
make it.
See, it sounds like everything that I've ever sang in my head.
You want to do?
Oh gosh. I'm totally disappointing right now. My brain is farting. I don't know. I can't think of anything with that. I cannot think of anything with why his music is taking longer than it is, because he's like, hey, I'm gonna play a bunch of stuff and I want you to sing, and just whatever comes out, just start singing stuff. I'm like, my brain is not wired that way, not towards that type of music. It's just not. It's
for the rock. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to do the chordy things?
I guess, yes, sure. I'll just throw something out there. And I apologize in advance that it's going to sound exactly like everything you've heard me sing thus far. My brain just goes that way.
That's fine. That's how you're wired.
Okay.
All my riffs sound the same.
I apologize.
So much. You don't even know right now. And the fact that you did one at Hetfield, yeah.
I didn't even
I almost stopped the song. I was like,
I didn't even think. This literally, I wasn't even making the connection. My brain did not.
I immediately made that connection because in this video, you know how many times I'm going to go,
yeah!
all the time. I have constant yeah stuck in my head, and you did that, and I was like, oh my god, this could not get any better. Literally, this is my favorite one. Okay, this is officially my favorite comment of the day. You thought it was gonna be Celia. This is awesome.
Oh Lord,
I can't wait to edit
I got
this.
the itchy.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
Metallica 29, why not Hetfield? Because Gibson took Papa Het's ESP Explorers away. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
We're talking last week about the Kirk Hammett thing. Gibson, he's a Gibson artist now and an ESP artist. And I thought, right after Dave Mustaine, what's the matter? Gibson couldn't get James, so they settled for the lower tier stars.
Oh no, poor Kirk.
That's my theory. I was like, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you get this guy when you could have had, Michael Jordan?
Right.
Michael Jordan said no. Oh, okay. So now we move on to the next.
Now we have LeBron James.
Now we have LeBron James. Yeah. Anyways, that was great. Comment of the day. So excited. And now we have a new segment.
Yeah.
Following comment of the day, which was not planned at all, but from time to time, people send us things. Art and music. It's pretty easy to find us. Somebody was complaining about wanting to send us a guitar, but they couldn't talk to us. I'm like, I don't know where you messaged me.
Yeah.
I don't see your messages, homie.
Don't be ridiculous.
But the address is pretty easy to find. Just ship it. People ship us Duke's Mayo. What else have we got? We've gotten some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. We've gotten barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Different types of barbecue
Different
sauce.
types of BBQ sauce.
Coffee.
Sharks.
Yeah.
Not live sharks, thankfully, but, stuffed sharks, toy sharks.
Yeah.
And this week, we got something from Kenny Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
You may have heard of him. Musician.
Yeah, we love Mr. Kenny.
Ken Rogers, who sends us stuff all the time. About once or twice a year, he'll send us a box. I'm like, what is this?
Amazing. I look forward to it every time, sir.
This big box shows up. I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, it has a Sunoco stick. I'm like, oh, it's from Kenny Rogers. What's in there? And it's like tools, like Harbor Freight tools.
Love it.
And like tarps.
Yes.
Books. Like,
well, yes, which I appreciate. Yeah.
Devotional books. Comic books. There's been some Thor comic books in there.
Yeah.
Some flashlights, some pocket knives. Just random stuff. And I'm like,
which we love.
Oh,
and we look forward to them.
The terry cloth things that I use all the time. Cleaning guitars and
they're in every lesson room, in our house, in our cars. They're everywhere. We love them.
Yeah. So Ken Rogers is, he's number one.
He's like our Santa.
He's like the number one sender of things to RNA other than the IRS. And this week, we got a box from Kenny Rogers, and inside of it was some Dr. Squatch.
Yeah, but
Star Wars,
and you're wearing a Force tee.
And I did. That was not planned, actually.
Okay.
I didn't even plan that. Look at there. Woo!
Other way.
Open it this way.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells good.
Got an often Bobby disconnect.
Maybe if y'all, and inside of it is four different soapy soaps.
With the four
we got Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Darth Maul, Darth Vader. We got the Only Hope soap.
Yes.
Wisdom Wash, Dark Side Scrub, and Ruthless Rinse.
Mm-hmm. With the faces of the
yeah, I love that. The boys were like, "What is this?" Oh my gosh.
They like the Vader one.
Yeah, why is the Vader one hilarious?
And it says, "Let this dark, powerful blend take you in its grip with mighty chokeberry, exfoliating sand, and a tempting smoky scent."
Yeah, because it has sand in it.
Yes,
and activated charcoal.
Which is hilarious because Anakin in the first three said he hated sand.
Stupid baby. I hate sand. It gets into everything.
Yeah.
And it's got activated charcoal, which is super awesome. So, thank you, Kenny Rogers, for the Dr. Squatch soap. At first I thought, does Ken think I stink? Because he sent me some Dr. Squatch soap before, like a one little bar. Because somebody asked about it. I was like, I've never tried it. I see the ads, of course, on Facebook and Instagram and all that. And he sent me a bar. I used it. It was actually great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I loved it.
That's some pretty nice soap.
Yeah, Dr. Squatch, not a...
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
We are not sponsored by Star Wars, Lucasfilm, or Dr. Squatch.
Disney.
Disney. So
it's not Lucasfilm anymore.
Yeah, no, Disney. So we're not getting paid. If you go buy some Dr. Squatch soap,
we're
not getting a check.
We don't get anything.
Just so you know. But I did look it up. That's about $34. It looked like on the Dr. Squatch website because I kind of don't want to use these.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I kind of want to just keep it in the box and never open it.
Yeah.
Keep it in the box, never open it. But I do kind of want to use them, so we might actually order a secondary box to actually use, and then just keep this as a collectible
from Mr.
From Mr. Rogers. Will be in the shop here, so it's pretty funny. If you need to take a bath, go get you some soap. Thank you, Kenny Rogers. We got the Duke's Mayo a couple of weeks ago. We did a little video about that.
And I still use it to this day.
She does.
I love it.
I do not.
It's delicious.
You mixed it with ketchup the other day, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Duke's Mayo and ketchup.
It makes a great dipping sauce.
Just saying, we might... If you send us stuff, it might make it in the video. It might not. I can't promise that, but that definitely had to make it. If we remember. And that definitely had to make it into the video. I couldn't message him to say thank you because his Facebook account got hacked. So I had to delete it and take it down. I'm like, I was trying to find him. Like, I know I'm in a message group with Ken, so I can tell him thank you for the package. But he actually called and left a message on the machine, letting us know that it was coming.
Awesome.
So, but there you go. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. I know. Camera problems. I'm going to have to get a new camera.
I know.
I've been using this Canon T5i for forever now. And it's old tech. It's old tech. It was old tech when I bought it, brand new. It was on the way out. Yeah. Now everybody's got fancy new cameras. And I'm always about 5 years behind on cameras.
It's okay. It does what it does and it works what it works.
It do what it do. All right, next question. Walking Dead 1369, also incredibly reliable. Hashtag Dune. Touching on the Dune question, what book or books that you have read would you like to see made into a movie?
Ooh.
Of course, with the condition that they stay true to the original story. Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes they do. There's a minute like that's not even how that book goes. What are y'all?
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? What do you think?
Honestly, most of the books that I've read that are series are already made to movies. I don't have anything new that I really like. Actually, Aiden had a book that he read when he was in his younger right before he went to junior high, and it was a cute series of. I know it's a children's book, but it's was it James Patterson, the guy who does all the thriller novels and stuff like that, and he did a series where there was these children, they're treasure hunters. That's what it's called. It's called Treasure Hunters, and the parents are work for the government / themselves, and they go treasure hunting and have a boat, and the parents go missing, and the children have to step in and follow the clues, and there's pirates and there's espionage and all this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. We enjoyed it. He read it whenever he was like in the 5th and 6th grade, and maybe part of his 7th grade year, because he was just like, now I'm in it. He's invested. There's like 6 books, and he didn't get the last one, but he has almost all the treasure hunter books, and it was fun. As a parent, you know, whenever there's not a lot of clean stuff out there, this reminded me a lot of like Carmen Sandiego type stuff, like when we were kids, and I think that would be something fun, because it talks about geography, it talks about the animals that are indigenous to that area, and it's very National Geographic-y, so it's pretty fun. But I don't have any series that I can think about that haven't been, like, I read Nancy Drew and Little House on the Prairie, and of course Hunger Games and all the Divergent books and stuff like that. And any Tom Clancy book has already really been put into movies. I mean, there's
good
really
ones,
not,
I guess,
a lot of authors that have series that I can think of off the top of my head that I've read that would be a movie that isn't already.
You breathe, Angela. Breathe.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm trying to think. It would probably be, this is going to sound bad, but it's going to be a Star Wars book.
Yeah.
So a lot of the books that came out, after Return of the Jedi, Timothy Zahn was the author. Like Heir to the Empire was one of them, and there were several that there was a whole like storyline that crossed several novels that I'm like, those were freaking amazing. Episode 7, 8, 9 is hot garbage.
Yeah.
Terrible compared. If they would have just gone, you know what, we're going to make a movie from these Star Wars books that have already been written, it would have been amazing. Like every here and there, they kind of tried to maybe steal some elements from that.
Yeah.
But it was terrible. But if they stuck to those novelizations that came out that used to be Star Wars canon, but now are Star Wars Legends, it didn't really happen, because we decided to do some horrible movies.
Right.
If they would have just done that, it would have been amazing.
Right.
Those were fantastic. Like almost all of those. Any of the ones Timothy Zahn did and a couple of other authors, those were great. I mean, I just read them. I'm like, this is awesome. This is great.
Right.
This is fantastic. They should have made those into Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
That and the other stuff that I read a lot of was Dragonlance.
Oh yeah, the
Dragonlance books. Like Dragons of Autumn, Twilight, or Dragons of Summer, something. It's this whole like trilogy, right? And it's very
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, basically. It's very like great value Lord of the Rings, except really good.
Yeah.
It's not really great value Lord of the Rings. I would say obviously they were inspired by Tolkien, first, who's the granddaddy of that. But it's like the Target. No wait, they're like the Walmart to Tolkien's Target. Maybe.
Okay.
It's really good. Like there was a whole series of them, and there's dragons and there's wizards and there's knights and there's swords and there's elves and there's goblins and like all the stuff, all the freaking Lord of the Rings stuff.
Kind of Dungeons and Dragons.
It is. It's actually said Dungeons and Dragons, Dragonlance. So it was under the Dungeons and Dragons sort of thing. But I read. There's a lot of those. I probably have 10 of those books.
Nice.
And then I've passed them on. My sons have read them. They're like, Dad, this is great.
Yeah.
Because they love Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Which
Nicholas read all of them like fast, and then Aiden was like, I don't know, and then he was like, I like these books.
I know. Well, it's like if you like Lord of the Rings, you would love these Dragonlance books, and they're thick. I mean, they're like pretty thick, 500-600 page novels, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty in-depth. It takes a while to read through it, unless you're like me, who I just read, and I'd read for 8 hours straight, and then finish a book in 8 hours or something. But those, if they actually stuck to that storyline and didn't try to like
Star Wars storyline.
Star Wars it, Those would be great. Those would be fantastic, honestly.
Right.
Because the books are fantastic. So that's those. That's kind of nerdy, but that's what I would pick.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of any books or series of books that I've read in my life that totally captured my attention over multiple books. Yeah. Like just devoured them, couldn't stop reading them.
Yeah, very few.
Yeah.
Very few.
Great question, Walking Dead. Thank you so much. And final question.
Whoa, look at us.
I know, it's only been an hour already. Brian Strasser says, can you explain fretboard radius, please? Fretboard radius. Okay. Now, this is a thing that really is indicative of electric guitars. This is a bigger deal on electric guitars than it is on other guitars. But the fretboard radius has to do with the curvature of the fretboard. So fretboards on electric guitars anyways aren't completely flat. They actually have a curve to them. And you'll see stuff like 7.25 radius. Like Fenders have classic Fenders like a 7.25 or 7.5 radius or whatever. You know, it just has to do with the curvature of the fretboard across the strings. So radius is just like a circle. I'll put up a graphic. That'll make sense. I'll put up some pictures, but if you take a circle, from the center of the circle, you measure out to the edge. That's the distance they call the radius. So it's the amount of curvature of the fretboard. A 7.5 radius is a more curvy fretboard. As you go up in number, like a 10-inch radius is a flatter fretboard. 12, even flatter still. 16, like on a shred, super flat. So think about smaller and smaller curvatures, right? So that's a thing that electric guitar players are talking about all the time. But like basses, there is a radius to the fretboards, but it's not a thing. Like bass players, you do ask a bass player like, what's your favorite radius, and they're like, whatever, you know. And classical guitars are like pretty much flat. So classical guitars are a little bit different. So it just has to do with the amount of curvature on the fretboard. So I kind of like the ones that are more rounded, like the old classic Fenders. Sometimes that people say it kind of goes with the curvature of your fingers, right? If you think about your hand and how you play your hand, kind of curves, right? It's not flat. So the curvier the radius, sometimes the easier it is for like chordy things, like chord shapes. Sometimes the flatter radius is a little bit better for the wheedlies.
Makes sense.
Right? The flatter it is, the easier for the fiddly diddlies. Yeah, fiddly diddlies. For just big fat cowboy chords, the curvier ones, and bar chords are a little bit easier on the curvier radius.
Right.
Radii.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of the Fender, the real curvy 7.5 or 7.25, whatever it is.
Right.
Maybe that's why I don't really dig Fenders.
Maybe so.
It could be that. It's a little bit harder to do the big bendy bends on that. The flatter the radius, sometimes the easier the big bendy bends are.
Right.
But yeah, that's just the amount of curvature. It's not just the back of the neck that's curved. Whoop. Don't want to get copy strike for that. That's my phone ringing.
Right. How'd you? I say that.
No.
Oh no, mine's always off. So
I know, because every time I call you, you never answer. Like I didn't even hear it ring.
I know.
I was like,
it
well,
doesn't
you had it on
ring
silent.
all the time. No, not all the time.
You just said you have it always on. The truth comes out.
Whatever.
The truth comes out. Anyways, it's the curvature of the fretboard. Yeah.
It's a lot of math.
It's some math and numbers and things. So, yeah. There you go. And some are compound. Some of them are compound radius, which is you have one kind of curvature like on the low for like first, second, third, fourth frets. And then as you go up the neck to the higher frets, 12th, 15th, 16th, it gets flatter. So you could go from like a 12-inch radius here. By the end, you get to the wheedly side, it might be 16. So that's what a compound radius is, where the curvature of the fretboard kind of changes as you go up. That's for the fancy shred guitars. They like that compound stuff. Yeah. There you go. That's it. There's your answer. Thank you for the question, Brian. There are no wrong questions, you know? I haven't ever thought about that in a long time. I kind of know I like moderate ones, not crazy flat and not crazy curvy, kind of somewhere in the middle. I'm a moderate, I guess. That's what that means.
Yeah.
But that's it. Final question. Thank you, Brian. Y'all guys, tell us below. What's your favorite fretboard radius? If you're
Ask this question.
Yeah, if you're a electric guitar player, everybody else except for electric guitar players don't give a crap.
Right.
Doesn't matter. But we get bogged down in the minutia of the specs because the reason I'm not amazing is I have the wrong radius. It's like my reason I'm not amazing is I don't practice enough. That's my reasoning.
Truth bomb.
I could be better if I practiced more. Mm-hmm. Not if I had the right guitar or amp. But people need to buy stuff. So thank you guys so much. If you have a question for next week, please leave it down below. Oh, and also I forgot about
what?
Our little game we play. If you made it all the way through this extensively long video, we have a little secret game we play called Secret Hashtag of the Day.
Hashtag of the day.
Hashtag of the day. With your question and or comment or by itself below, if you'll type in the secret hashtag of the day, we will know you watched this entire video, at least up to this point. And maybe to the secret endings. But yeah, so secret hashtag of the day is hashtag hometown. Hashtag hometown. That's the secret hashtag of the day. Thank you, Angela, for saving my butt with that because I couldn't think of anything. Yeah. Hashtag hometown. We'll know you watched the whole video. Type that below. Ask a question. We'll see you guys in the next video. I got one coming right after this. Y'all can check a new guitar. New guitar unboxing video. Check that out. Coming probably within 12 hours of this video. Possibly. So check that out. We'll see y'all next time. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need this music.
And we need to keep it alive for the next hometown heroes.
That's right.
So they can play music too.
Boys around here.
Boys.
They get stuck in here.
You almost got me. You get stuck. Get stuck in your dang country songs.
Yeah.
There you go. They know how to write some catchy stuff. Get you some swaggity swag.
That's right.
Mama likes to eat dinner, and I like to eat dinner too.
He likes to eat dinner more than me. He thinks about it a whole lot more than I do.
You know, our sons like to eat all day. So I was like, "What's for dinner?" I was like, "Son, it's 9:30 a.m."
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're having dinner, right?
Comes in the morning. Hey, so what's the plan for today? Whenever I say like we're going to the grocery store, he goes, "Yeah, but what's for dinner?" That's his plan. It's not where we're going like errands. It's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and tomorrow. What are the plans?
Yeah.
So
people wonder. They're like, people who haven't seen our kids in 7 years are like, "Oh my God, your children are huge."
What
like,
do you feed them?
6'7", 6'4" giants. And they're like, "What do they eat?" Like everything.
And in photos, it's hard to say because y'all don't. Most of y'all, unless you've been to our shop, don't know how tall we are. So, in perspective, they're big children.
in person, they're very impressive.
They're large and in charge.
It's like, holy smokes. Who are these two bodyguards with this lady in Walmart? Why does she have two giant bodyguards? Well, she's kind of famous.
I'm kind of famous.
Just you don't know it. Food. Swaggity swag.
Speaking of food, I need to eat breakfast. I haven't eaten breakfast.
Oh, man.
It's time to go.
Let's go.